Having immigrated to the United States during his childhood with big dreams, Tenzin Shamphel has found his passion in the fashion world. Recently, he was a part of Dr. Jill Biden's designs, which was worn during US President Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony. Let's welcome Tenzin Shamphel. Shamphel, it's lovely in every way to have you here. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Sakina. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Shamphel, can you tell us something about yourself first?
I currently live in Elmhurst, Queens in New York. I currently work as a production manager for Markarian. And currently we are working on our spring production and we just wrapped up our fall collection as well. We are also working on custom bridal pieces as well as custom pieces that women are all ordering in after seeing Dr. Biden wear the dress.
Okay, so Shamphel, in your journey, you had initially considered working as a health professional, but then you chose your stream to arts when you realized that working at hospitals weren't meant for you. So Shamphel, you chose to be at the medicals because it was your parents' choice, but then when you started doing really good with arts, they also started to support what you want to do. So Shamphel, can you tell us about your journey from being a medical student to someone who is now working in the fashion industry?
Yeah, in New York City, actually, after you graduate middle school, you get like this big fat book and it's filled with about 500 high schools. So, being Tibetan parents, they all want their kids to be either doctors or nurses, things like that. I kind of wasn't really into it and I really wanted to go to art school, but Amla and Pala kind of pushed me and said, no, you have to go here. And I'm like, all right, I kind of gave in and went. Studying at the high school, it was a little difficult because you also kind of had to get internship credits. So I had to intern at Bellevue Hospital in New York City. Just like starting being a student who's not really into the medical field, I was pushed directly onto the cancer floor, and that being the last stage. It was a little depressing seeing a different different patient in a room every like 2 weeks, and it's like it was kind of the last stage, so that was even worse. And then going back to school, I spoke to one of my teachers, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and I told them about how I was into art. But my high school did offer an art class as an elective, so I took that class, and I met my teacher there, and she kind of pushed me and said, "No, you have to do creative if you want to do creative." So because of her, I got an award at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's called the Haney Medal Award, and it's like given to a freshman or sophomore at a high school. And after that, I told my mom, and that's when I started doing the applications for fashion design programs in New York City schools. And thereon, when my mom heard about that, she wasn't really too happy, but she was like, hey, if you're really interested in going to study design, whatever, I have a friend, I can get you an internship. So when you have the 2 months off for the summertime, she was like, I want to see how you do in there. And then I started going. I started interning there, got all my hours, and my boss was like, "Hey, Chetan, like you have to let your son go to design school," and that's kind of how I ended up getting into design.
It's a very courageous act of you to change your stream and then like finally pursue your passion.
The best feeling is like when your parents kind of see like you're super passionate about it, and then you hear like their friend telling them like, "Hey, you have to let your son do this." Then they know that you're serious about it, and then you go on from there.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that it happened with you. Your parents supported you eventually. Yeah. So, Shamphel, many people showed their appreciation and support when they came to know that a Tibetan was a part of the team that designed Dr. Jill Biden's outfit, which she wore at Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony. Shamphel, can you tell us about your contribution in this project?
Yeah, first of all, I actually want to thank all the Tibetan people. I've been getting emails, I've been getting a lot of messages on Instagram, and I think I've tried my best to respond to each and every one of them. So thank you guys all very much. Like I am trying my best. What do you call it? So when our team first heard about it, we were all super honored, and it was amazing. For Markarian, my job, as I mentioned earlier, I am a production manager, so I kind of oversee. The garment coming from sketch to life. My job would be to like go out there, match the thread color, get the right buttons, getting the correct amount of yardage, even getting, what do you call it, matching linings, matching everything. I have to make sure the whole thing goes together. So it's just like kind of overseeing all the elements of the piece come together, as well as overseeing the elements like being sewn together or just like put together. Yeah.
Shamphel, I personally loved the design. It was so simple and yet so elegant. So Shamphel, how did you manage to be a part of such a project? How did this opportunity come to you?
So I actually got a call from an old colleague um, when I was working as a production manager at a different company. She said, "Hey, I know a person. She's looking for a production manager. It's everything that you do, and it's like a luxury company." And I thought, "Hey, like that would be an amazing opportunity." So she kind of put the interview together. I met Ali, and then we kind of hit it off. The interview went really smooth. I was a bit nervous at first, but then a few days later, I got a call from Ali saying, "Hey, like I would like for you to come in and meet our team." So I went in, met the team, and I was like, "Okay, cool. This is going good." I wouldn't get a second call back, and then I thought it went well. And then the funniest thing is, I actually told my mom like, "Hey, Amala, gyala meet like the phone on the mo gyala da." And Amala's like, "Oh, we need you, mare. Yeah, go check it." And then I think it was like 5 days later, I got a call saying, "Hey, when can you start?" And that's how I actually got to be a part of the Markarian team.
Shamphel, what do you have to say to those aspiring young Tibetans who wants to make a career in the fashion industry?
So, like, if you're really interested in the fashion industry, don't be shy. Just jump in, get any internship you can get. School is important, but for me personally, my internships and my work history was more important. I try to build up my resume, try to get to know the right people. Just like don't give up. Like when things are meant to be, it's gonna happen. You just gotta keep working hard. Yeah, that would be my little piece of advice.
So congratulations, Shampela, for having received such a wonderful opportunity, such a wonderful project, and I wish you very best. And we hope to see more of your work and more of your designs out there on the screen. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show, and thank you for speaking to Tibet TV.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Sakina.
Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode of In Conversation with Tibet TV.